Good to go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my office, my slice of real life here in the VTuber world. I am librarian VTuber Star Shadow, aka Star, real life working librarian. We're still working, at least. that's good. But also, I'm a family man with a daughter and 3 cats. And when everything has settled down for the night, we can play some games, and that is what we're gonna do on this Monday night. And it is Monday, which is never a great day, but at least, you know, the weekend was not that far away. Unlike Tuesday. Tuesday is the worst. But yeah, Monday, it's not great. And you know, we're just trying to move forward, trying to stay alive, I guess. So we got a lot of work and stuff to do, so you know, we'll be busy. And we're still, of course, applying for stuff, for jobs and stuff, so lots to be done. So this is the time for me to relax. This is the time to be able to have a little fun, I guess. But I took some time yesterday. I got to catch up on Elimination Chamber. I didn't watch it live because, well, I was streaming. But also, but I do try and catch the pay-per-views when I can. So, or I guess what are the premium events? I guess what they're calling them now. So yeah, it was a pretty good show though. Pretty good show. What I really have been enjoying is definitely the amount of story that they're actually doing. Sometimes in previous regimes that it was supposed to be about story but didn't actually tell stories, especially during matches. It would be like window dressing on the outside, and occasionally we would have like one good story that we could really sink our teeth into. But now we're getting story within matches. I mean, we had in the opening match the women's elimination chamber, the whole thing with Jade Cargill and Naomi, and a continuation of that as to what's going on and how that affected Bianca throughout much of the match. And it did, like, she definitely sold it for much of the match, which is really cool, and something that we definitely did not see a lot of before. In that way, emotional damage like that. I mean, you might see selling of physical damage, but not always emotional damage. So I was happy to see that. And of course, we had some good stuff out of crazy stuff out of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn with their surprisingly not bloody but pretty visceral match. I mean, having seen some of the stuff that they've done previously against each other, that was pretty tame, but still, for a WWE match, they brought out a couple of things here that I was like, woo, okay. But yeah, the whole barbed wire thing, gimmick barbed wire looks like, but still, nonetheless, still looked painful enough to me. So I was like, wincing throughout a lot of it. But it, you know, that's the story they were telling. It was pretty good. I mean, the tag team match that they had wasn't, but ending with the male elimination chamber, good stuff. And then of course the final boss coming out and sealing the deal to end everything, the Cena turn. Ooh, that was I had that spoiled before, so but still seeing it, I was like, whoa, pretty crazy. So heel Cena for the first time to end his career. Could be interesting. Someone pointed out and R Squared Circle that it conveniently sets up a lot of matches that we want to see. So that could work. That could work indeed. So we shall see how much he works going forward. But But yeah, Cena turn very interesting. Him working with The Rock, interesting. I mean, The Rock coming in and being the devil basically was pretty crazy. I guess he's doing his impression of Vince McMahon's character kind of thing there now. It wasn't quite clear the first time he came out in that first initial promo and with Cody, but now it's pretty clear exactly what it is. So yeah, that was really cool. I was always, I'm always a sucker for some of that kind of stuff, especially when you add in some quality matches into it, some quality work. So that was definitely a one of the pluses of H's NXT, the Black and Gold. They had both. They had good stories, not always like complex stories, but pretty simple stories, but effective stories and good matches too to go with them. I mean, not always. You didn't always get good matches. I mean, your top stories at least were pretty good, but sometimes the lower stuff was not as good. But the people, when the horses were there, definitely, especially, you had your long-term Gargano Ciampa story that the entire promotion centered around for a while. You even had like some fun stories with like Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black, and then Dream versus Ricochet. You had some of the tag team battles that were crazy with the AOP and DIY and the Revival when they were there. All kinds of crazy and fun stuff. So, trying to carry that in. I mean, are the shows perfect? Of course not. They could still do some work, especially in the mid card. They're trying to do a little bit of stuff, but not enough, I think. And I think that's what the challenge has been so far, is completely weaving in the entire roster. You see a lot of it going on in like backstage stuff. You're starting to see like shared universe now that this is actually, people are actually interacting, even people that are in vastly different spots on the card, which is something we always wanted. But now to bring stories, not just to that, to the top, but to the bottom too, because one of the things I think what everyone really enjoyed about the Attitude Era when things were the hottest was that there were so many fun stories. It didn't even matter what part of the card. The bottom of the card had great stories too, had fun stories, had fun characters. That's how we got like Too Cool. Things like that. Hurricane, all kinds of stuff. And that's why things are finally remembered. There was fun stuff going down throughout the entire roster, and I think that's the missing piece right now. Things are trending in the right direction, but I think that's what we need next, is some more of that, just spreading the stories around and making sure everyone is getting in on the action. But yeah, that's what I think, at least. So yeah, how it goes. All right, let's get ourselves back here. So this way, it's the quickest way, I think. We're gonna get back into this. When we left, we were starting to focus in on Tribbie and all of the Tribbios pieces, I guess, I don't know. And now, after we got to witness a nightmare, I guess, that Tribbie was having, now, and kind of find out a little bit more about how they work. Now we're gonna go, and I'm guessing get more lore as we go and seek an audience with Ornex. So this ought to be interesting. Oh, there you go. To reconcile stuff. All right. So yeah, this is exactly where we left last time. So actually, I should probably, the team we probably need, especially in here, is not this one. This was better for the Black Tide. So let's go with. Oh, I guess I'll do it this way. Oh, we have Tribbie in here. Trying to think here how I want to do this. Let me do it this way. Try this. A little bit different, but I think if we try to spam her to ultimate, maybe that might work. We'll give it a shot. I don't know. I still haven't decided whether to really.
Turn back, teacher.
What? Aggie? No, it's an illusion.
Yeah, I'm still trying to decide whether to pull for Tribbie or not. I mean, I have had some, so I did like a 10. Obviously didn't get her. I'm trying to decide if we really want to. She's a Harmony, which they tend to do better long term, so more of a worth it, I guess, from that kind of perspective. So, like, she should probably be more useful long term, but I don't know. Or I guess they would probably be more useful at this point, but I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm still deciding.
Wow, this room is huge. Trinan, did you? Yeah, I saw it. Was that a warning from Oryx? What are you two whispering about? Tribbie? Trinan? Trian can't even hear her own telecommunication. Well, never mind. Trian suddenly feels like this place is quite familiar. Oh, there's a whiff of safari in this room. It's right over there.
So, Trian has been weakened, I guess, especially after using the Sentry Gate in her weakened form, but was weakening already, and seems that Tribbie especially has admitted that it looks like Trian is coming to the end of her time, and this is kind of emphasizing that she's starting to lose her place, starting to lose what left of her soul, since she can't continue to communicate with the other two here.
Over here! Follow Trian!
And really doesn't.
Trian, slow down!
We gotta do it this way. Okay. So yeah, they have been, Tribbie is definitely.
Even if separation is our fate, a futile death is not the solution.
It appeared again.
This is one of the things that Tribbie has been kind of worrying about, and so that's part of why she's had the nightmare that she had.
Right here! I summon thee, Oryx! Stir up ripples of past reverie! Something's appeared! Wait, we should read it first.
To Mr. Wincombe. These are saffron secret recipes. For many years, Yanisopoulos has relied on the rose myrtle to obtain the boon of the gods. We have spent 5 or 6 years now digging out its roots and cutting back its branches. Now this red tree is on the verge of collapse and has long since ceased to serve its purpose. Yet it still seeks to spread out its canopy and eclipse Yanisopolis from the glorious rays. We have a secret plan to fell this tree. We just need to wait for the ceremony to make a small move, and the rose myrtle will slip and fall into the abyss. Yanisopolis is built on a mountainside. There are more than a few cases of people who have lost their footing in its history. As for the next sacred tree, we were planning on selecting another puppet. As for the rose myrtle's daughter, Tribbie, we'll call her Saffron for now. In my eyes, I think it would be fine just to find an excuse to off Saffron. However, Codex the Alkalite is extremely insistent on raising her to become the next sacred tree. She has undergone related education since she was a young girl, which would save a lot of work on her part. As for her identity as the daughter of Rose Myrtle, she is still young and has not yet grown wings. If we can just keep her grounded, the power of the Divine Oracle will remain tightly in our grasp. We both know that the saffron's most outstanding property is that it can be cooked in so many different ways. Put in porridge, stewed, or fried. No matter how you cook it, this plant will always be a delicacy. Denalio.
Wait, this is a letter? It mentions something about saffron and Tribbios? Isn't that name... Never mind that for now. Why is this letter here? And how did Tran sense it? Could it be our lost memories? Is it possible that we were already noticed by Orynyx and entered their trial? But why haven't they said a word? Orynyx has the whims of a child. Perhaps they're toying with us on purpose. Come on, this isn't the right time to be playing games.
So yeah, it seems like one of the themes here has been that there's a lot of like terrible people in this world.
Separation and death are two sides of the same coin. Reconciliation doesn't come easily for a mortal.
So, are these visions also fragments of the past? Incense ascends, entwined with the theory of...
Right. But you can see the people of Yanisopolis seem to have a section of it that desire the power of the Titan and were willing to sacrifice even Tribbios for it. And then we have like the Kremnoans who are warlike and who seem to only want to live for war even when there are better ways to go. You know, it's definitely not necessary right now. They're lost in their glory. Like pride is like their downfall. And we're seeing with the Akamans, there's a whole section of people who are politically, I guess, against things and are working in the shadows against like a Goliath and things. So we're learning a lot about these cultures and not just like, and it makes you wonder if the Titans kind of went mad because the people themselves were going mad.
Tribbie! Trinan! Look what I found! Is this the safari? Coming! We'll take a look. But Trian, there's nothing in here. What? It was right in the stolium. Huh? There's really nothing here. That can't be! I swear I saw it! I swear! Trian is telling the truth. It was right there. Where did it go? to hear you at all. We were just lost in our thoughts. Don't worry, Trian. What you saw was likely, Yana's hair. We must have startled it away. Okay. Could Oryx be trying to make us falter? But why would they do that? Something feels off. Tribbie, don't you think this temple is a little too quiet? What do you mean? It might just be an illusion, but Trinan wonders, is Oryx really putting us through a trial? Still no luck finding any safari. I suppose we can do without it. Let's try to convince Oryx. At least they didn't toss us out straight away. Whoa!
Oh.
Tribbie, Trinan, look at this! So cool! There are so many of us now! Trian.
This is like at the end of Tribbie's nightmare.
It's really quiet in here. Do all Titans live in dark places like this?
We'll see if Oryx will talk to us. That'll be the interesting thing here.
What's going on? Oryx disappeared?
Not long ago in Akama.
Are you saying that the black-robed swordmaster is not just tied to the Black Tide, but is also hunting for core flames everywhere?
This is the most plausible possibility. First, it has a vessel that can hold core flames. Second, I'm one of its targets. Let's start with the first premise. Its peculiar ceremonial blade can interact with a core flame, as evidenced by the pull I felt when it stabbed into my chest. I hypothesize that the blade can sense, absorb, or even retain core flames. The second premise is even more explicit. When it was engaged in fierce battle with many of us and was heavily distracted, it remained consistently focused on me. Or rather, on the Titan Xerxes inside me.
And Nexa is very interesting because of the duality here between the Grove, which was heavily influenced by the Titan Xerxes, but Nexa has very much been, I don't want to say anti-Titan, but kind of like a skeptic of the Titan and almost an opponent, not like enemy, but just opposition. But the Titan has also worked through him.
So it's plundering the flames. But if your argument holds up, wouldn't he be headed to Akama soon? The vortex of Genesis is full of the Titan's core flames.
Not necessarily. Let's call that person the Flame Reaver for now. If my presumption holds, that person has 3 targets. The first target is me. The second target is Oryx, who hasn't yet fallen. And the third is Akama and the Vortex of Genesis, where the core flames are housed.
This is not good.
But I suspect Akama won't be their first target. Kefali's core flame is guarded by the Council of Elders' arcane power. And Fagusa's water curtain should be able to block out any external perceptions.
What about Thanatos and Aquila? Their core flames are yet to be restored.
The whereabouts of Thanatos remain a mystery to all. As for Aquila, can you fly?
No, I can't. Why are you asking that?
Can that Swordmaster fly?
Good point. But what if he does grow wings?
If they had wings, I wouldn't have made it out of the grove alive.
That's a relief. Anyway, since the Flame Reaver has 2 targets, we need to move fast.
With the distances between Akama, the grove, and these potential targets, I believe we should bolster our defenses and...
Bad news, Finon. Tribbie is missing. The last time the 3 of us were seen was in the Abyss of Fate.
Oryx! Are you in here? No response at all. Did they foresee that we were coming and hide in the fog, or... Tribbie, we should leave. This temple has other people in it. What? Oh. Listen, footsteps. Fast ones. 3 or 4 people coming this way. Come on, we need to hide. Whoever they are, we can't let them see us. Tribbie, Trinan, come check this out. What's this? Trian feels like it's so familiar.
What the?
Tribbie? See you tomorrow.
Sometime later in the Abyss of Fate.
Where am I? Little gray, snowy, and wait, where's Trian? Is she back?
We only saw the 2 of you collapsed on the side of the road when we arrived.
Danny and I looked around, but we couldn't find any traces of Lady Trian.
What about the black-robed swordmaster?
Blast it! Of course it's him. We were still too late. I fear something bad has happened to Oryx's core flame.
Then Lady Trian...
She doesn't have much divine power left. We can barely sense anything.
Trian, I have a bad feeling about this.
That you're both safe is already a blessing. Everyone, we must take action now. We should split into 2 groups. One group will stay in the Abyss and meet up with Aglaya's reinforcements, then search for Trian's whereabouts. The other group will come with me to pursue the black-robed swordmaster and recover the core flame.
Do you know where it's headed?
I didn't get to tell you this before, but Anaxa and I already have our misgivings about the Black Tide, so we've made preparations. I'll tell you the details as we move. Opportunities are fleeting on the battlefield. We should hurry.
Lord Finan! Ah, Lady Tribbie and Lady Trinan. I'm glad you're all right.
Did Aglaya's people get here?
Yes. Lady Aglaya already knows about the situation and sent along a message. Finan, I understand that Swordmaster is of great importance to you. But if you charge in without a plan, I fear that you won't be the only one who dies in vain.
Wait, hold on 1 second here.
I understand. Hatred is a hero's deadliest poison. I have no intention of fighting alone. If that Swordmaster really is related to the Black Tide, the Chrysos heirs must not take them lightly.
Yeah, no kidding.
I have indeed planned to return to the Holy City and discuss the strategy with Aglaya. We'll need all the help we can get for this encirclement.
Why don't we split up as previously discussed? Hyacinth and I will stay to regroup with the reinforcements. You go back to the Holy City with everyone else and tell Aglaya about your plan.
Trinan will stay in the Abyss too. That way, both sides can communicate with each other if anything happens.
Thank you, everyone. Partner, Tribbie, let's go.
Alright.
We're back, Aglaya.
You should have come to me first, Finan.
Aggie, there's no need to scold Snowy. Akuma is currently in grave danger.
I know. It's beyond my imagination that the only two titans humankind can still rely on fell in such quick succession. I've never seen the golden thread pulled this taut, as if it could snap at any moment. Finan, tell us your plan. Time is of the essence.
Finan recounts a Nexus discovery.
This being is not just hunting titans, but taking the core flames too?
Yes, just like the Flame Chase journey is doing. Professor Anaxa thinks the Flame Reaver's arrival is likely a sign the Black Tide has spread further.
Reasonable.
Regardless of whether you're right, this being is still far more aggressive than we expected.
But its madness is also an opportunity for us. If its goal is the core flame, then that means us humans can lure it into a trap. Anaxa had already left the Holy City with Cersei's core flame while we were on our way to the Abyss, so he can make preparations for the battlefield.
Tell me, what makes you think this won't end with us losing another core flame?
Because this time, the power from beyond the sky is also at our side. She is the key.
Oh. I know, of course it's gotta be me. I have a Stellar on. Can we pass it off as a core flame?
We need your other companion too.
Ma'am,
Oh.
do you mean me?
Hey, I don't have to do Mem no more if she's gonna actually talk.
I see. Finan, that battlefield you mentioned, is it Castrum Kremnos?
Yes. I'm sure everyone remembers the astonishing miracle our partner here performed with her companion during the battle with Nikador, and how they awakened Castrum Kremnos' past. That will be the key to our victory. We will use Orynyx's power to once again open a passage to the past and lure our enemy inside. Then, we'll seal the Flame Reaver in the maze of time.
Impressive. Orynyx has fallen, and Yanis's divine power already belongs to Akuma. Once we take back the core flame, the Swordmaster will have no means of escape. It's very clever, using the element of surprise instead of brute strength. Can you do it, little one?
We were so close there. I just have to throw that black cloaked guy into the past and lock them there, right? With the memory fragments, I can open a door no problem. As for the rest... Well, let's just say that the Trailblazer and I can do anything as long as we're together. Really? Then I'm gonna make a wish.
Oh, come on! Memmy mem 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 mem. Memmy mem mem. Memmy mem 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 mem.
Oh, come on. Can't you feel their fervent gazes? This is a big deal. Can't let everyone down.
Such enthusiasm. I'm glad to see you're confident. By the way, the Council of Elders declared a state of emergency when Tribbie went missing. Kynus and her following have heard tell of the incident at the Grove, and are galvanizing support in secret. I fear she'll make her move before the next assembly of the citizens.
What are they plotting?
That short-sighted politician likely believes the Chrysos heirs have outlived their usefulness, and is making preparations for her next step. That ugly side of humanity is something we'll have to deal with eventually.
Well, this is what I was talking about with Akima's side. Their problems with short-sightedness and the political side and all of that power. Excuse me, that is showing the downfall, I guess. Like I said, each of the communities that we've seen so far, each are trying to stave off, or are not staving off, I guess, their downfall. They're falling.
But that's a problem for another day. I've sent Castorus ahead to the council with a message. She should be able to keep the situation under control for the time being. Finan, it is my hope that we can come to an understanding on this. We must take down the Flame Reaver in one go, and retrieve the core flame. And in doing so, grant ourselves an advantage against the Council of Elders.
Of course. You may count on me to lead the charge.
I apologize for tasking you to spearhead the plan once again, but Akima is currently beset by enemies from within and without.
Did we skip? No, okay. They were just going to the next scene.
The situation brooks no delay, and we have precious little time to confer and discuss the plan with you. That being said, you are the key to our success, and I shall respect any decision you make.
Alright, how do we make sure that the plan will work?
I may not be as masterful as Trian when it comes to the Century Gate, but even I can open a nice big gate if I have enough time.
As for whether we can take back the core flame, that will be up to Anaxa's capabilities.
Based on what I know of him, he can do it.
How do we guarantee my safety?
I'll be honest, we can't. But the Flame Reaver will have to step over my dead body if they wish to do you harm.
Whatever Mem's plan is, I'll follow. We reserve the right to withdraw at any time. Whatever Mem's plan is, I'll follow. Hooray! I was so worried that you'd be mad at me.
We are grateful to you for your aid, and to the rest of you as well. Now, let us be off to begin the hunt. May Kethely sharpen our gaze and grant us victory over the enemy.
Feels like we're missing someone.
You mean Mighty? He's dealing with a different problem. Don't worry, that man would never miss out on this fight.
We gonna find out what he's up to? Vortex of Genesis. Akima.
Farewell, my dear friend. You must lead us back home.
He's finally decided to take down the trial, it looks like.
You and I, we're both the same. We feast on strife and fear.
If you're truly capable of leading our people beyond this blood-stained fate, then prove it to me once more, Mighty Mos.
I knew you'd be here.
I heard you're about to set off on an expedition.
That's right. It's going to be a tough battle, and our destination is... turns out to be Castrum Kremnos.
Is that why you're here? To pray to the dead Nikador?
No, just the opposite. I'm here to tell you, you can entrust the front lines to us this time. You can't afford to lose your upcoming battle either.
Have you heard the story of Geocles the Mountain Breaker?
Sounds like you've spoken with Cartonus. That's the name of the legendary mountain dweller, right?
Let's have a chat before we go our separate ways. Cartonus told me that back in ancient times, the mountain dwellers lived in seclusion. They spent their days quarrying and gathering, living a simple and peaceful life away from strife.
So they finally broken through their wall and they're actually friends now?
But Geocles was different. He resisted their traditional way of life, yearning for the world beyond the mountain. They're safe, but humdrum culture was like fetters around him.
He sounds a lot like you.
Yes. That is why he, too, faced the same dilemma as I do. One day, during one of Geocles' many ventures beyond the mountain, he spied a battalion of Ladonians stationed at the foot of the mountain. The Ladonians were at war with their arch-enemies, the Companions, and they used the mountain as a base to carry out guerrilla warfare operations. When Geocles, who had taught himself the common tongue, approached a soldier, he learned a shocking piece of news. The Ladonians were planning to plant mines and explosives all over the mountain, and then lure their enemies within. With danger lurking with every step, the mountain dwellers' homes were no longer safe. Geocles quickly returned to his village to bring the news to his people. But...
let me guess. They refused change and chose to put up with the situation instead.
That's right. The mountain dwellers were fearful of even the smallest change to their lifestyle, let alone leaving their home. Despite the imminent war, the elders would rather negotiate for peace instead of leaving the mountains. This made Geocles both angry and sad. But he didn't give up. If you were in his shoes, what would you have done?
Lead my people on a resistance, perhaps. I'm not sure. I can't think of a solution that would make everyone happy.
A solution that would make everyone happy, huh? That's how naive we are. Well, let me tell you what Geocles did. He took the mountain dwellers' store of gemstones and traded them with the Ladonians for a massive amount of gunpowder. But he didn't do this to fight the Companions. Under the cover of night, he set ablaze the forest surrounding the settlement, forcing his people to flee the mountain. That great fire marked the beginning of mountain dweller history. Since then, their people became part of civilization, and giants became a common sight in the holy city. Meanwhile, that mountain they once lived in has turned into little more than foam inside the black tide.
But leaving their homeland also brought many mountain dwellers misfortune. They
were hunted by Kremnoans or enslaved. Indeed, that is undeniably also part of their history. But that is Geocles for you. The merits of his actions, or lack thereof, have been scrutinized by many, but historians nevertheless hail him as the Mountain Breaker. Why do you think that is? It's simply because he took action and enacted change with his own hands. He didn't try to make everyone understand him, nor did he even waste time trying to make everyone happy. He started a great fire and burned the shackles of tradition to ashes, and then forced everyone to march toward the coming of a new era.
He found his inspiration.
You've made up your mind, haven't you?
Good
I'll
on
be
you,
leaving
man.
Akuma soon to fight the great darkness of this world. And to shoulder Nikador's destiny. So, listen well. If there comes a day when we meet again on the battlefield, that I stand opposed to the flame chase, remember to stab your sword into my back through my 10th thoracic vertebra. That's my weak spot. And the only way to kill me.
So he's kind of like Achilles, except Achilles' weak spot was in the Achilles, funnily enough. Which, I mean, actually that's why the Achilles tendon is called the Achilles, because of that story. But, so there you go. Much like Achilles, Mighty has his own Achilles heel, ha ha ha, except it's his back to spine. The 10th thoracic vertebra, that would be, I think is the thoracic the highest one, highest part. So that would be, I always forget my numbering here. Like around the shoulder blades?
You have my word.
Go now. The battlefield calls. Send that flame-thieving hyena to their death. But if you find yourselves with no other recourse, pray to that blade in the sky. Loudly call out the name of the new god.
That's the sound of an all-out war. Not the kind of ruckus Professor Anaxa can raise on his own.
The amount of like vulnerability, I mean, obviously vulnerability, but not just the fact that but it is all about the fact that he shared his weakness willingly to his rival. Well, like I said, at this point they're actually more friends than rivals at this point, but it's the emotional vulnerability too, in that Mighty has accepted everything about this now that he's decided and taken inspiration from the Geocles story, and that he's going to go in, take the godhood as he's been pretty much fated to do, and lead, and his goal is to lead the Kremnoans into, well, basically away from their folly by force if necessary. But he also understands that there's every chance that the corruption of the Kremnoans, their pride, could overtake him and he could fall to madness just as much as like his father did. And in that case, he's not himself anymore. He knows at that point that he has fallen to the pride and violence and rage of the Kremnoan people, and that he has lost his values and his morals. And in that case, he's not himself anymore. And so he's asked, like, the person who he's closest to end his life, because that's no way to live. He's completely lost himself. So it's a very like moving bromance kind of thing when you really think about it. Like it's not like the most well done kind of thing, but the emotion behind it is there. And that these two, you know, they've been very much shonen rivals kind of thing, but they've finally gotten past that, especially after they had their conversation and started to learn more about each other and really talk. And now, just as Mighty is going to take the biggest step, he goes into it with a clear mind and has gotten to talk to his friend and eased what was left of his doubt, which is what happens if he falls? What happens if Mighty falls? And I don't mean like death-wise, but falls to madness or corruption. Now he's taken that last bit of doubt and erased it because he believes that his friend can do this and will take care of anything that happens in that way. And so that doubt is erased. So he is going in as clear as possible. Everything, all the weight's lifted off his shoulder. He's ready for the trial. It's actually been a pretty solid bit of storytelling in bringing Mighty around to being the holder of the core flame for Nikador, and that he started off completely against it, even though everything in the story is like pointing, saying this is Mighty should be taking this, Mighty should be taking this, but Finon is stepping in front, and you know the whole arrows going that way towards, you know, this is who should be doing it. This is everything here is like written and makes sense. Like everything around this makes sense that this is Mighty's. But yet Finon is the one stepping up to this. But now we've had the arc come back around. Finon has failed at the trial, partially through his own pride of wanting to do this, has been chastised and frankly has become better of it, and now Mighty has been able to finally come around from his issues of everything through that. That was like the first step of Mighty finally taking the chance to go, him seeing firsthand of what's going on and finally understanding his place in this, and seeing and coming face to face with the Nikador in the trial, and seeing and actually now finally understanding fully what's going on and realizing that yes, this is him. This is on him to step up, and basically how he eventually comes to be able and willing and frankly deserving of this, and just like everything has made him ready for this. And yeah, it's like it's a very solidly written story. I don't know if people kind of gloss over that or not, but I do want to point that out because it is good storytelling. And now it's, like I said, now we're going to be able to hopefully follow along with Finon as he is getting ready for his core flame. We don't know which one. Will it be from this? Will he actually take Ornyx through destroying the Flame Reaver, or is there another one? We don't know enough about him to have like flashing signs saying this is the one that he's gonna have. This is the one that he's fated to get. But an enemy like this, it seems to kind of be that style of thing. But again, it's not quite clear. But he is now having had to deal with his failures and his pride, and we can see how he develops from this. Will he go through an arc like Mighty and finally come to his conclusion, or is this we're gonna find out now in a battle against the Flame Reaver how he reacts, because that's gonna tell us a lot about his readiness to take on a core flame. All right, that's enough talking about storytelling, I guess, right now.
Let's hurry. The battlefield is just ahead.
All right, But yeah, we're still all set up here too for a big battle.
No way. A Cremnoan?
Can I get through here? Yeah.
We won't bring dishonor to the king!
There's a black tide there, so that may... I don't really see anything, so... Oh, do we have to go by him? I wanted to see if there's like a chest or something, but no. Okay. I don't want to waste what we got here.
I didn't think she'd manage to send the Cremnoans to assist. Brave warrior, what's the situation on the front line?
And Ackerman, why are you here?
What? Didn't Deglaya tell you? We have been instructed to assist you in trapping the Flame Reaver.
Deglaya, that vile usurper. I spit on her name. Our king will be back soon. He'll be able to deal with you and that black robe.
A hoarse curse lodged in his throat, refusing to escape. Moments later, he convulsed, his head drooping as his spirit departed his body, drifting towards the abode of Thanatos.
The Cremnoans really are just like their king. Rest in peace. May your glory last forever. Did they come to fight on their own accord?
I can still fight. You must become king. I can still. Nikador is with us. You must become king.
That sound! It pierces my ears!
We're almost there.
I can't see.
Oh, what's going on here?
Once we take back the core flame, Yanis's passage will open. When that happens, you must evacuate immediately. Don't stay behind. The rest will be up to how well we work together.
But remember what Mighty said before? Cast aside all distractions once you're on the battlefield. Let's go, partner. Today, destiny shall stand with us.
Alrighty.
Finally.
Ma'am, all yours.
Pent in the memories of the dead! Executioner!
Okay, let's see how this goes.
Sure know how to keep a man waiting.
Okay.
Any later, and I fear the Titan would have sacrificed me.
Frail child of humanity, 'tis more effort keeping you hale and whole against that blade than it is in seeking the truth of the world.
Don't let me down.
All right.
Relax.
Get it together.
Okay, kind of figured this was gonna happen. Boom.
Good times. Time to say bye. Boom.
Boom.
Time to cleanse the field.
Boom.
Bending.
Okay.
Say bye to breathing.
And that's why we're like, you know, give Jade stuff to Linkshot, cause boom.
Divination will take a lot.
Time for a lesson. Allow me to purge the root of the problem. Yeah.
Stand still.
We're doing okay.
Enjoying yourself?
Okay, drop some more on us here, but boom. And
It's time to say bye.
a little bit of this.
Boom.
Existence is unity.
Now that we got all of them, boom, doesn't give us that. Boom. Take one out. Pick them both out. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, dude? What do you think about that?
Immerse yourself in it. Time to cleanse the filth.
Boom. Okay.
Bending the rules. There's more to life.
I still feel like we gotta take these things out.
Lose some, win some. Don't let me down.
That. Boom. Nice. Bots of lots of joint attack. Okay, so yeah, this was the right move.
Get ready, Croft. Can't hold out much longer.
We can because I just
I know what I'm
fucked
doing.
it, dude.
Long last.
Nice move. Is he coming through? Oh, interesting.
How embarrassing. You didn't come down from the sky?
This city is mine anyway. So why shouldn't I go through the front door? Minion of the Black Tide. I, King of the Kremnoan Legion, will be your opponent today.
Then burn my
Long
dynasty.
time
Oh
no
wait.
see, Nikador.
Then burn my dynasty and offer these ashes to Strife. so the boys are already back together. That was all of like 5 minutes. Deals massive imaginary. They are not even weak to imaginary. Okay. Okay, well, that does a trick. Okay.
Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
Stand still.
Be of your body and mind.
If I was gambling, that would take a little bit more out of it, but it didn't. Okay.
Give an inch and they'll take a mile. Bending the
Oh,
rules.
okay. Then
Relax.
this'll work. A little mighty to help out.
Such petty tricks.
May as well kill them all.
Oh, I should have hit you with this first. It was my bad.
Good times. Time to say bye. Boom.
Vanity leads to self-destruction. I am not sending a dynasty to exile.
Well fought. That was a good opener to the ceremony. Now, we honor the fallen gods with this fight to the death.
That was visually impressive, but ended up not doing much. Which I'm not hurt about.
Time to cleanse the filth.
Lose some, win some.
It was more of it's more of an observation, just like, okay, I thought we were gonna get like really wrecked. Oh, I should have waited. I'm stupid.
So I grant you the honor of sharing your final resting place with Kremnos' departed hero.
I would have needed him here. This would have been the time.
Be of your body and mind.
Time for a lesson.
Relax.
It's
Good
okay.
times. time
That's
to say
okay.
bye.
A little Kafka here will never go amiss.
I always deliver.
That might do a little. Okay, I did do enough.
There's
Okay.
more to life.
I did not think it would, but that worked out.
It's time to end this.
You're frozen, bro. How are you gonna end it? Don't look like imaginary attack. They look like fire attacks.
Heroic souls of strife, heed my call. I am the Lance of Fury. The agony this world needs.
Did he win?
Witness this. The new god has come to Castrum Kronos.
Look! The warriors have returned!
But are the rumors true? Has Orynyx fallen?
It's as the Council of Elders said. We face a dangerous threat. Yet the Chrysos heirs are only inciting more chaos. They don't care about the people's safety.
They really gave the core flame of strife to a Kremnoan at the end.
What a noisy crowd.
This, doesn't feel right.
It's probably because Orynyx is gone. Orynyx was a generous titan in the eyes of the people. They graced us with miracles, allowing humanity to reap many a convenience from the past.
What they don't know is that the Titan didn't do all of that of its own volition. Regardless, the Titan has fallen, and we must surrender Orynyx's core flame.
A meeting with that woman again so soon? I just can't catch a break.
Professor Anaxa, why don't you find someplace to rest first? Matters that require Aglaya's attention are piling up. You two meeting again will, forgive my honesty, only distract her. Just try to stay on your best behavior, if you know what I mean.
That's not up to me, I'm afraid. I've been trapped in her prison the moment I set foot in this holy city. The price of having a Titan living in my head, I suppose. Don't worry, I don't want trouble either.
He and Aglaya don't get along, huh?
They have differences in ideology. Alright, I suppose that's putting it lightly. Don't worry, you'll figure out the intricacies of these relationships sooner or later.
I'm sure you don't need my help handling Orynyx's core flame. So I'll be off. I have some personal matters to attend to.
It somehow feels like D has closed himself off even more after he completed his trial.
I don't think so.
Yeah, a lot has happened in the past few days. You've been lost in thought for a while now too, Tribbie. Did Trinon bring news?
Yes. She has found Trian. She was at the bottom of the valley outside the temple, but that's where the good news ends.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. They also found someone else besides Trian. He was no better than a corpse when Trinan and Hyacinth arrived. He had suffered more cuts than could be counted and leaped off a cliff from a great height, all to free Trian's body from the clutches of the black-robed swordmaster.
What a brave soul. Do we know who he is?
Kratos.
Yes. It's Kratos.
Not long ago.
Stop! If you want this girl dead, you'll have to kill me first.
I mean, that makes sense that he's the one who brought the Crimnoans, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
How ludicrous. Your body made of flesh and blood as it is will not survive more than a single strike from me.
Better to die in battle than return even in glory. As a Kremnoan, I know not the fear of death.
She's lost her divinity. I have no interest in an empty shell. But answer me this, child of strife. Why do you raise your shield for her?
As the leader of the God Shield Brigade's elite, I protected the king against the Black Tide with this very shield. And I've done this over and over, hundreds and thousands of times. A pathetic killer like you could never understand the weight it bears.
Pity and crumble like rusted iron.
Good! Supreme glory shall be mine, as I indulge in the libations and incense offered by my descendants. Come, let us fight! For Kremnos! For my king! For Amphoreus!
Fitting. That is the pride and all of that of the Kremnoans channeled in a positive way. Their love of battle, their thirst for battle, channeled in a positive way to protect. And Kratos has shown that at the end, even after suffering from the corruption and stuff that we saw in the last episode. Was it the last episode or was it 2 episodes ago?
We foresaw this cruel parting 1,000 years ago. Today is but a reminder of that bitter taste.
But Lady Aglaya, I don't understand. It wasn't life itself that Lady Trian lost. Why does she look like she really turned into a doll? I don't understand.
Don't be sad, Hyacinth. Trian has used up her borrowed time from Yanis, that's all. Her spirit is now riding the west wind, flying ahead to a world free of sorrow.
If a world like that truly exists, does that mean everyone from the Grove is there too?
It exists, Hyacinth. Do you not remember? The prophecy that guides the Chrysos heirs is the voice of Kefili before it fell silent. It loves all of its creations dearly, and would never bear to lead us astray with lies. What about the Crimnoan veteran? How is he doing?
The Twilight Courtyard has done all we can. Even so, we've only managed to keep him from breathing his last. I had to use the Sky Priest's techniques to help him to walk again. But if light ever disappears from Akama for good... No. Let's hope that never happens.
This is already nothing short of miraculous. When we found Kratos, he was no better than a corpse. I think the interesting thing...
The parting hour is upon us. Yet the golden thread runs slack. The heroes have returned with their spoils.
I think the interesting thing about Kratos is, will be when he sees that Mighty has taken on the divinity. It was something that he had long hoped for, as witnessed by all that he had done previously. That tends to be the kind of things that inspires the true believers like him to do things that you would not think possible. So we may not have seen the lesser Kratos as like being a badass.
Everyone, please take this opportunity to rest and prepare for what awaits us. You've returned unscathed and brought tidings of triumph. Truly a moment worthy of celebration.
We do have the core flame of time. The fallen soul of Orynyx, the Time Titan. The core flame urgently awaits to return to its place, and its demigod will assume the authority of the vacant station after completing the trial. Okay, so they made it sound like they didn't. I guess I was confusing that the Titan itself fell, but they were able to retrieve the core flame. All right.
It's incredible to think that we returned Nikador's core flame not so long ago. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that you and your friend's arrival has melted the glaciers of history.
We've melted a real glacier before.
You could say this is the true face of history. It slumbered for 1,000 years, only to awaken for this one moment. Alas, now is not the time for a study of history. I do not see a Naxa around. Was this under your instructions, Finan?
Yes. It just seems much more efficient than letting you two go at it endlessly.
A rash decision. After all, he still bears a core flame with him. I do concur with your assessment of efficiency, though. Now, let us table the issue concerning him for the moment. The more urgent matter is the core flame of Orynyx. The Chrysos heirs had initially crafted a plan regarding the order to return the core flames, for titans like Orynyx and Circes, who harbor no intentions of harming humanity. Our strategy entailed assuming their divinity only at the very end. But this unforeseen turn of events has thrown everything into disarray.
If we don't return the core flames to the vortex of Genesis, and we leave the Titan's divine positions vacant, we can't even begin to imagine the disaster that would follow. But the most pressing issue at hand is that we haven't found the Chrysos heir capable of bearing Orynyx's divinity.
Finan, Castris, Mighty, and Hyacinth. Tribbie and I devoted a millennium scouring the world, only to find these few people.
Well, I think we can assume Anaxa can take on Circes, since he's basically already doing it. So let's chalk that one up.
Only a chosen few possess the capacity to assume divinity. The elite among the Chrysos heirs. We would never hastily extend our invitation without first verifying their potential to bear such power. Yet, we cannot compel anyone into divinity, as it would be no different from sentencing them to the gallows.
truly a dilemma.
But we don't know who Finon would be perfect for yet. We do know Castris and Thanatos are, that's, you know, there's no question that's where we're going there. Hyacinth, I don't know who they're looking at for her. And oh, Mighty. Okay, I was like, who's the other one? Mighty. Well, we already know about Mighty.
Yeah.
Well,
How about letting her give it a try?
I've been waiting for someone to say. The owner isn't liable for their pet's words.
Mem special, mem.
I'm serious. You're special to Amphoreus, and we all know that. Now about Ornyx. The one projected me into this world and granted me this body. Isn't Ornyx just a little titan, even more capricious than a child? Meanwhile, somewhere in the Memorial Palace. Kratos.
I see the Reaper has forsaken you too, teacher.
It simply put my life in the hands of the Twilight Courtyard. That priest girl's medical talents are truly exceptional. She might be far from the ordinary girl we envisioned. But this isn't about me, Mighty Mos. I saw it. You finally decided to embrace your own fate.
Power of strife is stirring a tempest within me as we speak. My bones have turned into steel, and my blood is seething in a blaze. Past rulers of Kremnos could only aspire to this might, yet I have merged with it. I've made history, and henceforth divinity and kingship shall coexist as one.
Indeed. You've realized the aspirations of every former king of Kremnos. And now, you can at last bring our people home and reforge the glory of Kremnos.
Yeah, but hold on a second.
Unfortunately, I harbor no such desire.
What? What do you mean by that?
Over 2 millennia past, devotees of Nikador's might banded together beneath their feet and erected a city of their own. Ever since then, Kremnoans have served as the blades wielded by the god of war, following the Titan's path in its conquest. Yet, gazing upon our history through the lens of my newfound divinity, I now see it with unprecedented clarity. This history is sheer absurdity and inferiority. People surge onto the battlefield like ants, plundering and slaying for their own greed, only to be trampled upon like ants. The city and the beliefs that Kremnoans hold so dearly, alongside the supposed tradition, were mere anthills that could be crushed with a single touch in the eyes of the Titan.
You! Are you trying to strip Kremnoans of the pride we've amassed over thousands of years?
Yes.
With mere words?
Yes.
That pride holds little significance, Kratos. Now that I've assumed the divinity of strife, my next step will be to renounce the title of king.
No!
Well, maybe Kratos is not gonna be too happy.
Convey my message to every Kremnoan. This is an order.
Do not do this, Mighty Mos. I beg you.
Our history commenced in the year 2506 of the Light Calendar, concluded in the year 4931. I, Mighty Mos, last king of Castrum Kremnos, son of Gorgo, do hereby proclaim the Kremnoan dynasty comes to an official close today.
You have killed us. You have killed us all.
No. I am granting you a new beginning.
What is this?
My mother's signet ring. It served as a symbol of kingship, and I now imbue it with a fresh significance. Take it, and rally those who have lost their identities. Convey the words of Mighty Mos, now ascended to divinity. You no longer need to chase fleeting honors or face death on the battlefield as if it were your sole destination. However, you must adapt to fit into the city you once observed with indifferent eyes. A cruel fate awaits Amphoreus. No matter how illustrious a dynasty may seem, it crumbles to rubble and gravel before formidable foes. Yet, you shall tread the only path out, one that leads to a brand new world at its end.
Why task me with being your messenger? Why not explain all this to them yourself?
Because only humans can guide the path to be trodden by humans. It's not the lot of humans who crave the power of gods and spiral into madness for it, but humans who stand ready to raise their shields high to protect the lives behind them.
This is what I was waiting for him to say. I figured when he, after saying they no longer needed the spears or to be the spears of conquest, but that they should become part of Akuma to become the shield of humanity. He's kind of getting to that in a roundabout way, kind of saying exactly that.
I failed to save that child.
That is irrelevant. As demigods, they have long been prepared for it. What truly matters is that you showed up there and shielded her.
The one who persuaded Aglaya to set me free that night. Was that you, Mighty Mos?
Yes.
She's not one to easily make a concession. What did you offer her?
I staked my mother's name to guarantee the integrity of your soul to her. And I promised her that I would dedicate all I have to the Flame Chase journey.
And what is next, Mighty Mos? Where will you be headed now?
To the place where I belong, to fulfill my promise. The madness that has plagued Nikador and the darkness that has consumed Amphoreus. It's now my turn to fight against it. There are some people to meet with before I leave. Let's go.
And what is next, Mighty Mos? Where will you be headed now?
Awesome. There we go. He has taken the Geoclus route and has set fire to the forest around the village, around the Kremnoans, to force them off of the mountain. Like I said, he's had a great arc. The arc is one that it's a trope, but it's a well known. It's a trope for a reason. That's what I'm trying to say. And they did a good job of showing. And what they did is they didn't just tell it. Like sometimes the story can be a little telly and not showy, but in this case I really feel like they did a good job of showing the story and giving giving it a chance to actually play out without being like, hey, look what's going on, look what's going on. They given some things like the whole history of Geocles and all that kind of really drives home exactly what's going on, kind of not subtle, but like I said, there was a lot here, a lot in this arc of Mighty taking on the throne that was done well and was a compelling story. And now we get to see what happens afterwards, how they react, but you can see what his plan is now. They had the pride of warriors, but the pride was for conquering, for power, and now he wants to turn that to be a shield, to use that same power and pride, but to take pride in the fact that they are a part of the world. Well, they are not just their own thing, people. They are a part of this crumbling world, and they have their place in order to help stave off the end of the world and to lead humans into the future. They're not losing they would not be losing their identities as warriors. They would just be taking a different perspective on it. It's not the attack, conquer, power style. It is the protect power, to be the rock, the shield that protects the people. And ultimately in this kind of story, that is how they earn their acceptance in the city. So that's going to be what plays out, I think, over the next, is what we're going to see in the background is the Cremnoans trying to integrate, but the Cremnoans also, especially closer to the end, starting to show their valor in battle, protecting. And that is when the Akamans see this and take them in wholeheartedly. Then it's always kind of sad that they have to spill blood in order for this kind of acceptance, but it is the kind of thing that there's not only acceptance but respect, and in the end it works out in the end, obviously, because this is not a story that's gonna end badly, because otherwise it doesn't, that would be a pretty crazy ending. I mean, I guess it could end that way, but I don't think in this kind of game that it will. There's going to be a nice wrapped up. It may not be like the most happiest of endings, but it should be a pretty solid ending of bringing Amphoreus together as they fight off this existential threat and then have to move on into the future and ultimately into a universe that was not aware of them for a long time. So yeah, it's interesting. I like I said, I like it. It's just one of those stories that, of course, was here, so I was very interested in talking about it as we were going. But a military story, which is always I find to be fascinating. So I guess that's probably why that stuck out to me. But yeah, so we still need to find out where Finance gonna go. We need to find out who they're gonna have take on Ornyx, if there's gonna be another person stepping up, that kind of thing. But we still have a little bit to go, so we'll continue tomorrow, and hopefully we can finish it up tomorrow. It seems like we might be on the slope, the denouement kind of it, meaning that we should be having a few conversations at the end, and I'm gonna guess that we're gonna have another vignette with Herta like we did at the end of the last piece of story. So I'm guessing that all is going to happen, but we had our big battle. We recovered a core flame. We'll probably take it to the Genesis and put it up, but can't imagine there's too much more here right now. But yeah, you can see they've set up a lot to still go through for the patches, since there's gonna be still a few more patches. So they said they had story for each piece. So I guess maybe the next one is gonna be finding the Ornyx bearer, maybe, or discovering who it is, and then maybe getting another core flame while we're at it. I don't know, but yeah, so awesome. But like I said, we'll finish it up tomorrow and see how it goes. So thank you all for hanging out, watching. Really do appreciate it. Join yourself here on Twitch. Hit that follow button and notification button. On the YouTube side, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, whether on the stream or any of the videos I'm to watch. Do appreciate it. And there's links in the description of the videos to Twitch and social media, so you can check all that stuff out. On the Twitch side, there's links to YouTube and social media in the profile in the panels, and also in chat, ! YouTube and ! Social. So awesome, we did it. Well, we didn't do it, but we got through some more here, and yeah, very, like I said, I'm excited. I think you can tell I'm excited to see where this is going, because there's a lot here and it's fun. So hopefully you're enjoying it, and hopefully y'all are doing well out there. Stay well, stay safe, stay good, stay healthy, stay fresh, and I will catch all of y'all tomorrow for some more, and hopefully it'll be the finale. We'll see, and then we can get back to some Civ. So stay good out there, stay safe, and I will catch you all next time. So you have a good one. Adios for now, everybody.